The Stompers got a much-needed Thursday off day. They're back to work here on a Friday evening in Sonoma. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli on today's edition of the Sonoma Stompers pregame show. The Stomps going in the wrong direction. A two-game losing streak has put their record at 11-9. They now sit in the third position in the CCL North. Roman, exactly halfway through the season. We've played 20. We have 20 left on the CCL calendar. You've seen half a season of play. What are your takeaways from this Stompers team? Let's start on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, offensively, they need to be more consistent. It's felt like in games they can put up 10, 15 runs, but then in others it's only one or two, and they've even been shut out a couple of times in recent weeks. Just more consistent offense. Get hits when it matters most. This is a small ball offense. The left on base number is always going to jump off the page, but that's something they've come to accept. We need to find ways to get the ball in the outfield, in the gaps when there's runners on base, especially for the Stompers, and just be more reliable and dependent up and down the order.
And let's go to the pitching. The pitching's been great halfway through the CCL season. It's still one of the best pitching staffs in the league. Let me pull up the numbers on league CCL ERA, but pitchers, especially out of a bullpen, who's jumped out at you?
Yeah, it's been a lot of guys. David Howard had a great outing. He's starting today, but then guys like the Sayo brothers, though Kyle got roughed up down and slow, and even his last outing against Walnut Creek. It's been a very productive staff, up and down, been very solid, and a lot of just consistent guys who can go in, throw strikes. The guys like the Bunyards, the Klostermans have all been solid, but then you go to the guys with a little bit more bulk, like Roland and Albee, guys who've come in and been able to throw strikes, get ground balls, and just do their job. Even Braden Gentz, we've seen, put in late in games, needs to almost get some outings where it's back-to-back saves, because down the stretch into the playoffs, that's what's really going to matter. We need more durability testing on those kind of guys.
Yeah, Gentz, one who's seemed to have locked down that closer role. He's going to be the ninth inning guy. If the Stompers can hold a lead late, that's what they're going to have to. They're the only team in CCL North or South with a team ERA under 3. A 2.73 for Sonoma. The next best team in the CCL North is the Alameda Merchants with a 4.06. Zach Pace doing something special here with these arms. It's a great pitching staff, and we can do second half keys to the season. I mean, the pitching staff's bound to regress, you'd have to think, right?
I mean, it's tough because with where they're at right now, it's not like there's a ton of room to grow. I think the walk numbers could definitely improve a little bit. We've seen some just silly starts to games where we're not throwing strikes out of the zone if we're the Stompers, but ultimately the staff has been solid. You need to continue to do what you're doing and really got to rest the arms, take care of the bodies. The dog days are approaching, and if you don't do your good rehab, eat right, sleep right, it's going to decline. You're going to start to see injuries and just the deterioration of the players themselves, which could end up being troublesome late in the season.
Reinforcements on the way for Sonoma. A couple new names in the lineup. Cam Hegeman, we saw him play on Wednesday. He went 1 for 3 in that one, but he's a guy where the numbers at Ohlone College jump off the page. 352, average 452 on base, a home run, 19 runs batted in. That's the kind of offensive power, firepower that Sonoma needs, especially in the 8 spot. And then Trevor Schlafer, he redshirted at Santa Rosa Junior College with Nick Sebastiani. They have the connection through him. He'll be staying with the Sebastianis and joining the team, a much-needed spot at third base. Max Handren expected to rejoin the team on Monday. These reinforcements can do nothing but help the Sonoma offense.
Yeah, and the big thing that needs to come with those is confidence. We saw Max Handren go down, and immediately the offense sputtered. Couldn't do much of anything against Arroyo Seco. That was just a one-hit performance. The offense needs to continue to be confident, knowing that their abilities have gotten them to a above 500 record through the halfway point. Now you need to go win 13, 14, dare I say 15 games out of your last 20. Play confident baseball, small ball, string hits together, make them up on the paths. We've seen a ton of runs scored on passed balls, something the Stompers pride themselves on doing. It's the Sonoma Classic. You need to continue to do those things and just play confident baseball down the stretch. At the plate, the approach needs to turn more from I'm going to find a way on base to I'm going to do some damage. You've seen the Stompers throw away so many 3-0 or 3-1 counts that you just need to start taking advantage of those. You're going to take 3-0 and immediately go swing, yes, on the 3-1 fastball that's been there a lot of the time.
Yeah, Roman with a bold prediction. Stompers go 15-5 down the stretch. That will be fun for those here at Arnold Field. It's going to be a fun one tonight at Arnold Field. It's Bark in the Park night. A lot of dogs out here, and I'm not talking about the middle of the Stompers lineup. And then tomorrow, Amy G joins us in the booth. That'll be in the 5th inning, so make sure to get your tickets for that one. We'll talk a little more about that as this night continues. Amy G, of course, the sideline reporter for the Giants for oh so many years. Really a Bay Area broadcasting legend. We're lucky to have her join us. That's tomorrow in the 5th inning around 7:30, 8 o'clock. But let's come back to today's game. And before we go into Roman's radar, I mean, there's guys we can look at here. I want to talk about 2 names in this lineup that I think need to carry the load today. That's Landon Akers in the leadoff spot. He's 9 for his last 21. Talk about swinging a hot bat. You have to go to Landon Akers. He's the only guy in this starting lineup with an average over 300. It's 308 for Landon. And then Nick Sebastiani, who had such a rough start to the season. Much of that could be he redshirted his last year at Santa Rosa Junior College, didn't really get into a game, but he's been outstanding now here. Over the past 11 games, he has a hit in 9 of them, and that average is up to 263. But other than those 2, Roman, who is your Stomp Watch player?
Yeah, for me today, it's going to be Colton Boardman. He's struggled as of late, but still has 18 hits on the season for the Stomps. He's down in the 2-hole. That a lot of times can be a really successful move for a coaching staff and a player. He just needs to see the pitcher throw to someone else before he takes the box, get this confident swing back and rolling, because Boardman, one of the best hitters on this team and in this league. Super talented, toolsy, knows how to play the game the right way. Needs to bounce back here, get a big one at home.
And then we move with our look behind enemy lines. It's a Menlo Park team. These 2 squads have played 5 times already, and they play 3 times over the next 5 days. That's today, Sunday, 105 against Menlo Park, and then Tuesday they round out the season series down at the College of San Mateo. We'll have a radio feed for that one. Who's today's look behind enemy lines in a season series where Sonoma's taken 4 out of 5?
Yeah, for me it's going to be Tucker Beal. Enters today 308 with 8 hits and 3 walks. Hitting in the leadoff spot, just needs to find ways on base, get the ball rolling early for Menlo Park, because they've got to have a chip on their shoulder coming back into Arnold Field. You've only won 1 game against the Stomps this season, and it was a game that nearly got away from you in the bottom of the 9th here at Arnold a couple of weeks ago. Needs to have a big day, spark the offense, and then keep it going.
Yeah, that's all we have today on the Sonoma Stompers pregame show, but the Stomps need this one. They've lost their last 2 games. Menlo Park, on the other hand, have won the last 2. The Stompers look to end their losing streak when we come back for lineups and first pitch on the other side of the break on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. The Stompers are halfway through the 2025 season. 20 down, 20 to play. The second half push starts right now on a Friday night against the Menlo Park Legends. Welcome into the Sonoma Stompers broadcast booth. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli, getting you set for game number 21 of the season. And it's time for the Stompers to kick it into gear for the second half of the year. And they send David Howard out to the mound to do just that. The lefty out of Newark, California comes in as 6'4", 225 pounds. He turns 23 coming up in just about a week. Happy early birthday, David. 2025 at Sonoma State University. He had a 7.53 ERA over 34.2 innings pitched, but here in Sonoma, he has been brilliant. 3 games, 2 of them starts. He has a 2.61 ERA over 10.1 innings pitched, but has not given up a run as a starter. And his best outing actually was out of the bullpen. That was against these Menlo Park Legends. He went 2 innings. He struck out 5 out of the 6 that he faced. And here's the lineup he goes up against, as announced by manager Nick Sanziri of the Menlo Park Legends. The shortstop, Tucker Beal, leads off, followed by the left fielder, Quincy Villa, and the second baseman, James Bowes. The first baseman, Will Anderson, hits cleanup. The third baseman, Dane Most, hits fifth. The center fielder, Gavin Shaddix, in the 6th spot. 7, 8, and 9 go the DH, Will Robbins, the catcher, Blake Cowens, and the right fielder, Charlie Degler. Will Howard, or beg your pardon, not Will Howard. Will Howard's the quarterback. This is David Howard. The lefty gets the start for Zach Pace and the Stompers and will set the defense behind him. Nick Sebastiani's in left field, Landon Akers in center, Cam Hegeman is out in right. A new third baseman, it's Trevor Schlafer. We'll tell you more about him when he gets his first trip to the plate. Colton Boardman joins him on the left side of the infield. McCann Libby and Paul Lazul go on the right side of the infield. The Stompers are 11-9. The Menlo Park Legends are 8-8. Things getting tight at the top of the CCL North standings. And we're just about ready for some Friday evening baseball here in the 707. Howard is ready, Beal is ready, and the first pitch of the ball game is outside with a fastball. First pitch at 6:10 here in Sonoma. A beautiful day. Things are heating up, not a cloud in the sky as per usual. 1-0 is hit to Libby, who makes the catch on the line. It's 86 degrees, the hottest first pitch of the season so far, and it starts with a soft line drive into the glove of Libby. There's one away. That brings up Quincy Villa out of Marymount University, not Loyola Marymount University. It's different, Marymount University. It's in Arlington, Virginia. Lefty on righty, Howard misses again. First pitch fastball 82. It's mainly a fastball, a changeup, and a slider. It's a changeup that can drop all the way down to 68 miles an hour. That was a fastball at 81, and Harvey Maxey, the home plate umpire, calls it strike number 1. The Legends wearing their black uniform, Legends across the front. Villa hits it to shortstop. Boardman fields, sets, throws, and got him. 2 up, 2 down here in inning number 1 by David Howard, and now he has to deal with the righty power hitter, James Bowes. He was at Loyola Marymount University, was in the portal, and is now going to Santa Clara. He'll be a Bronco come this fall. A note on that, that's a transfer portal that closes in just 3 days. Another first pitch fastball, this one at 84, and all 3 of them have missed. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Bowes, a .328 hitter so far. He sends this one foul the opposite way, but has done damage against Sonoma. 2 home runs, both of them came here at Arnold Field, all in the same game. Unfortunately for James Bowes, that was in a losing effort. Connor Pulowski ended that one with a walk-off single. 1-1 pitch. Changeup, 66 miles an hour off the corner.
And it's a bit of a unique changeup from Howard. It drops a lot like a curveball would and comes in just under 70 miles an hour.
That one is foul back to the screen, and the count's 2-2. Bose, a right-handed hitter, awaits the 2-2 and pops it up down the left field line. Schlafer going over, and he runs out of room. It drops into the Flybird Margarita Lounge. Bark in the Park night here at Arnold Field, and it's packed. A full grandstand tomorrow. Amy G, Smarty Marty night. You can come meet that Bay Area broadcasting legend, get a book signed, or tune into the broadcast. 5th inning tomorrow. We'll be joined by Amy G. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Howard pitches, and Bose pulls it foul past Lucas Townsend, who is the third base coach for Menlo Park. And in travel ball style, there's no first base coach for the Legends as of now. Howard just standing on the mound waiting for play to be called by Harvey Maxey, and now it is. Another 2-2 pitch. Howard induces a weak ground ball. Boardman, gloves, throws. Lazul, swipe tag, got him. Boardman's throw was a little bit offline, but Paul Lazul does the rest and swipe tags James Bose. 1, 2, 3 go the Menlo Park Legends. We're scoreless halfway through 1, with the Stompers bats coming up in the bottom half. Welcome back for the bottom of inning number 1 here at Arnold Field. David Howard tossed up a 0, 1-2-3 inning to get the Legends, and now the Stompers get a chance with the Bats. They've been quiet, just 3 runs over their past 2 games, those both losses to Walnut Creek. And this is the lineup that Zach Pace sends out there to stop that little losing streak. The center fielder Landon Akers leads off, followed by the shortstop Colton Boardman, and then the second baseman McCann Libby. The catcher Connor Pulowski hits cleanup, the left fielder Nick Sebastiani 5th, and the DH Brady Shannon 6th. Paul Lazul, the first baseman, in the 7th spot, the right fielder Cam Hageman in the 8th spot, and the third baseman Trevor Schlafer rounds out the 9 against Joseph Lee, 6'5", 205 out of Samford University down in Alabama. The San Jose product is a 20-year-old righty. He pitched against the Stompers 4 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings. That was 2 weeks ago to the day. The tall righty delivers to Akers. A called strike 1. Over the inside corner at 90 miles an hour. Akers is primarily hitting the 3 spot in the order. He moves up to the top, and Colton Boardman drops down to the 2. Lee to Akers is lined up the middle, sinking fast, base hit. The first base runner of the ball game comes via a leadoff single for Landon Akers. Stay hot, Mr. Akers. He's 10 for his last 22.
And that's what we saw a lot of Landon in the non-CCL play to start the season. Was hitting in the leadoff and just found ways to put the ball in play. Finds a nice gap there and needs to continue to do that in the leadoff spot tonight.
Brings up the left-handed hitting shortstop Colton Boardman. Akers leads off first, held on by Anderson. A slide step delivery misses away, and we'll set the rest of the defense. Quincy via Gavin Shattuck's Charlie Degler. That goes left to right, and then it's Most, Beal, Bose, and Anderson around the infield. Akers leads the team in stolen bases with 8. He's not running, and it's high, 2 balls and no strikes. Last time these two teams met, it was a 9-0 Sonoma victory. That's exactly what the Stompers want to do again. 2-0, Boardman takes a called strike, 89. It's a 2-0 fastball down the middle, and the count's 2-1. Kieran Costa, Roman Raffelli just getting started last of the first. The 2-1 from Lee. Boardman takes outside corner, called strike 2. That's a slider that came back enough to find the corner, said Harvey Maxey. Our TrackMan system said too far outside, so now Boardman has to battle from 2-2. You wonder if you get to a payoff, you send Akers. He doesn't run on the 2-2, and it's high 3-2, and that sets up that exact situation. Akers, a 265 hitter, 4 doubles, and 10 walks against 9 strikeouts. Even at this level, that's hard to do, walking more than you strike out. Payoff coming. Akers runs. It's a great jump. The pitch is low, so it won't matter. Akers could have made it to third by the time that ball crossed the plate. That was a great jump. He won't get credit for a stolen base, but Boardman will draw his 11th walk, and the Stompers are set up first and second. Nobody out.
And Libby coming up, been a hot bat in the lineup. He has struggled to get the ball onto the ground at least, but he's been hitting the ball really well. Had a couple hits taken away from him on Tuesday at Walnut Creek, but has seen it well and putting a barrel on the ball.
Libby looking for a little bit of revenge. He went 0 for 3 against Joseph Lee a couple weeks ago. He squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a late strike call. It's 0-1, so we'll see if now Menlo Park sells out for the bunt. They do. Anderson plays in front of the runner at first base, but Dane Most plays even with the bag at third, maybe trying to cut down that lead runner. Libby bunts it foul, and now he's behind 0-2. Zach Pace, after 2 losses, maybe he thinks runs will be at a premium. An early bunt from your 3-hitter.
And you might just want to try to force some aggression in the small ball style, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but you want to assert playing small ball, putting a bunt down here, but now you can't do that. Obviously, with 2 strikes, have to battle.
Libby has to shorten up. He's behind in the count 0-2. Lee checks the runner at second and comes home. Libby strikes out swinging. First strikeout of the ball game for Joseph Lee, and he's 1 step closer, and this brings up Connor Pulowski. Did I say Pulowski?
Good one there, huh? That's a good one.
Pets Lifeline sponsors the Bark in the Park night here at Arnold Field. There's some dogs around. There's Pets Lifeline brought some dogs, hit up down the left field line. But here we're focused on the baseball. Stompers have 2 on with 1 out. Akers runs. The throw goes behind to second base. It's picked, and Boardman slides in safely. The throw beat him, but Colton Boardman took a nice slide to the outside of the bag, and a pop-up slide. He's in before the tag, and Nick Sanziri's out of the dugout. And Harvey Maxey is pointing at somebody down in that dugout, and Nick Sanziri wants to have a conversation with Blake Dempsey, who made the call. This isn't something that's unsurprising. Nick Sanziri comes out of the dugout to argue quite a lot. And that one, from the dugout, you see that the throw beat him. Who knows who has a better angle?
Well, and what hurts the case for the Legends here is that the throw beat him, but Bose was not in the right position to field that ball. He was kind of crashing late, had to glove it backhand side towards the shortstop and then turn all the way around, and it looked like Boardman got the foot to the bag on the back corner. A great slide from him, but just looked like it wasn't the right throw, and with the runners breaking when they did, not a real steal situation, not something you're expecting out of the gates. It just caught the defense off guard.
So it's the 9th stolen base for both of those guys, actually. The league lead extends, and Pulowski takes low and outside. The count's 1-1. The pitch they ran on was a called strike. Pulowski had 3 RBIs in his 3 at-bats against Joseph Lee 2 weeks ago. He looks to add a couple to that tally here. He takes a called strike. It's 1-2.
And that's a really nice pitch. You start an off speed on the middle of the plate and work it to the outside corner. If the hitter's not uber aggressive on taking the ball the other direction, they're not going to swing at that pitch, and you can get it called for a strike every single time.
The 1-2 to Pulowski. Struck him out swinging. That's a huge second out, and Pulowski had won just about every battle he had against Joseph Lee 2 weeks ago. Lee gets his revenge, and it's up to Nick Sebastiani. Nick, a guy that hit the ball very well off Lee as well. He went 2 for 2. He was also hit by a pitch. That sort of kicked him into gear. He has a hit in 9 out of his last 11 games, and he takes low. The count's 1 ball and no strikes.
And that's certainly a storyline to watch as this game progresses. Is Lee was not great against the Stomps last time out. Going to come out and look almost like for revenge and try to change the pitch sequences and be better.
Sebastiani cuts and misses. High fastball at 91. He came up empty. The count's 2-2. Akers singled, or beg your pardon, the count's 1-1. Akers singled, then Boardman walked. They stole second and third respectively on a double steal. That one is low, 2-1. But Libby and Pulowski's strikeouts have put the onus on the 5-hitter, but that's the RBI guy in Zach Pace's lineup. Nick Sebastiani gets the nod today, and he's ahead in the count, 2-1. Nick swings and misses. That slider's been working very nicely as the Stompers chasing low and out of the zone.
Yeah, and when Lee faced them the first time, the Stompers hadn't seen that slider, so you think, as a team, we're going to go see the slider again. We're going to be all over it and a little bit more aggressive and not successful so far.
2-2. Sebastiani strikes out swinging on that exact pitch. So after the first 2 reach, strikeout, 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 goes the heart of the Sonoma order, which sends us to the second inning of play in a 0-0 ball game on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Will Anderson leads off the second inning in a 0-0 ball game. David Howard retired the side 1-2-3. Howard, a guy that gets a lot of strikeouts, 13 strikeouts through 11 and a third innings. Got 3 balls put in play. The 0-1 is outside 1-1. 1-1 pitch. There's that big changeup, 66 miles an hour in there for a called strike. Roman, we thought it was a curveball. It looks like a curveball. The 1-2 is lined through the right side for a base hit for Will Anderson. Leadoff single. It looks like a curveball. It hooks like a curveball. But David Howard talked to us after the game and said, what you think is a curveball is my changeup. And he's the pitcher. I think he knows best.
When it's about 70 miles an hour pretty consistently. We see a couple higher and a couple lower, but it also drops about 7 inches from where it comes out of the hand, which is a disgusting pitch. Typically, you see that as a curveball, so to have a changeup that's 10, 15 miles an hour slower than the fastball, and also doesn't spin like a curve and drops that much, it's a pitcher's dream. I mean, everyone would love to have that kind of a pitch. So what Howard's got, pretty special. But if it gets left up like it did there to Anderson, it can be an issue.
Howard pitches. That one's popped up very shallow right center field. It's going to be Landon Akers, the center fielder, who makes the catch. One pitch, one out. That's how you get the first one. That's of Dane Most. That's a guy that gets on base at a 500 clip. Not an easy thing to do, retired Dane Most, but David Howard does it here, and that brings up a righty, Gavin Shaddix. Shaddix just a $189 on the average, a double, and he's yet to drive in a run so far. He has Anderson leading off first. The pitch home is just high, maybe, says Harvey Maxey. It's a nice pitch. Gavin Shaddix, the center fielder today, digs in from the right side. Howard comes home and misses off the corner, 2-0. There's that pitch again at 69 miles an hour. Anderson, not a big lead off first base, held by Lazul. Howard misses inside, and all of a sudden it's 3 balls and no strikes. He had just 5 walks entering this appearance. He's in danger of walking Gavin Shaddix, who is a guy that hits just 189. 3-0. Fastball called strike. 80 miles an hour. He went to the bottom of the zone, took a little bit off. (3-1) now on the way from the 22-year-old lefty. That one's fouled back to the screen. Good battle. You go from 3-0 to 3-2, and now it's a something's got to happen pitch, and this is exactly the situation where Landon Akers ran from first base in the bottom of the first inning. We'll see what happens here in the top of the second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Howard comes set at the belt, working from the stretch, delivers, struck him out swinging. 84-mile-per-hour fastball got Shaddix chasing above the zone. It's the first strikeout for David Howard. And just like that, there's 2 down in the inning.
And a big strikeout there for Howard. He was left on right, down 3-0, battled all the way back, gets the swing and a miss. Big to keep that runner on first.
That brings up another righty, Will Robbins, who takes high again. Harvey Maxey is giving absolutely nothing, even if it clips the top half of the zone. But it's shown to give it past the bottom of the zone. This one's grounded right to Libby. A high hop. He decides to go to first and gets him. A nice job by David Howard, who strands a leadoff single at first base. We head to the bottom of inning number 2 in a scoreless ball game. You're watching Stompers Baseball on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Sonoma Index Tribune press box. It's the bottom of inning number 2, which starts with Brady Shannon taking a called strike that's ruled on the outside corner. That's a very nice frame job from Blake Cowens. And that's some credit to Lucas Townsend. He works a lot with the catchers on that Menlo Park staff. Shannon then laid on a fastball, 90 miles an hour. The count's 0-2. Blake Cowens brought that a ball and a half back off the corner to get a called strike 1. But now Shannon has to shorten up that swing and battle. He's behind in the count, 0-2. Here it comes. It's low. Can't frame that one. It bounced a couple feet out in front of home plate.
And he tried to pitch backwards there. Started with the slider, went fastball. That was a fastball. Just spiked it a bit, over gripped. Probably a little bit too excited to be in as successful of a count as he is. But now 1-2, still ahead for the Stomps. You got to get the foot down, look the other way, expect a slider on the outside corner, and battle off whatever you don't like.
0-0 ball game. Brady Shannon leads off the home second and checks his swing on a pitch away, but without an appeal, Harvey Maxey says, yes, you did. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts, all swinging, and Paul Lazul looks to stop that run. Lazul, a 265 hitter, but has really come around after a tough start, especially in out-of-league play. He picked up his first extra base hit in the 9th inning on Wednesday against Walnut Creek in a 10-1 loss, but maybe that sparks Lazul's extra base hit ability, and he takes a called strike that went in and out of the glove of Cowan, so he didn't even frame that one, but he got the call off the corner, so now you know what the zone is. You're going to get it an inch off the corner. The 0-1 misses in the counts. 1. Lazul a lefty against Lee a righty. No Shepler, no Handren in the lineup, so it's righty heavy for Sonoma, but Max Handren expected to rejoin the ball club as early as next Tuesday. Lazul sends this one to left, but Quincy Villa has a beat on it and comes on to make a one-handed catch wide of his body, but Lazul's retired. Brings up Cam Hageman. Cam went 1 for 3 with a walk, a single, and a stolen base, so got off the mark in really a lot of the statistical categories. Would like to get off the mark in the win total in his time in Sonoma. This is just his second game. Hageman, a righty out of Ohlone College, takes a high fastball that counts 1-0. If you're a pitcher today, you want to work down in the zone and off the corner. What we've seen from the home plate umpire is nothing given at the top of the zone so far. That one misses too low, and it counts 2 balls and no strikes to Cam Hageman, a guy that works ahead in the count. He was on base at a .452 rate at Ohlone this last season. The 2-0 is over the outside corner. That counts 2-1. And there's a whole lot of hitting room up the middle. The shortstop, Tucker Beal, shaded way over into the hole, as is the second baseman, James Bowes. Hageman takes inside corner. Front hip slider came back, and the count's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hageman is hit by a pitch. Welcome to Sonoma. We do that a lot around here.
And a good job battling there from Hageman. He got a call a little bit outside and then a call a little bit inside, but is able to wear one. Not a bad place to be on first base. You don't obviously want to get hit by the pitch, but you're in a 2-2 count with a guy with a really nice slider that's working really well. You'll take getting on base any way you can.
Now batting, third base, number 24, Trevor Schlafer.
That brings up Trevor Schlafer, a new Stomper, making his debut in Sonoma, and he hits it foul down the right field line. For Santa Rosa Junior College commit, he redshirted last year with Nick Sebastiani. In 2024 at Ukiah High School, he hit .333. 5 doubles and 3 triples. Hageman runs. The pitch is low. The throw to second is in time to get him. So Hageman's hit by a pitch but is caught stealing second, and the Stompers go in order. We head to the third. Still no score on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
The Lake Cowens.
8, 9, and 1 due up for Menlo Park in the third inning. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli. Thanks for joining us on the Stompers Broadcast Network today. Howard delivers, called strike.
And
Down the bottom edge of that inside corner.
seen it called several times on the slider in the bottom half of the inning, so at least we'll get it both ways.
This one's grounded to Schlafer, who fields the short hop and throws in time across the diamond. That's the first play we've seen from Trevor Schlafer at third base. Not an easy infield to play, Arnold Field, but he passes his first test. One down. He was out here very early with Dave Hoke taking ground balls today.
And that's a nice play there. Charge it, field it about hip high, which isn't always ideal, but got the second hand in, made sure he squeezed it, and then made a nice throw across the diamond.
That brings up the 9-hitter Charlie Degler, the first and only lefty in the lineup. He takes outside, it's 1-0. 1-0 misses, 2-0. Degler played for the Loggers of Puget Sound, and he takes high. Went to Gunn High School down in Palo Alto. He's from Sunnyvale. Went 9 for 32 last season for Puget Sound. 3-0 is low, and so the first lefty-lefty matchup goes the way of the hitter. And it's a 4-pitch walk. Just the 6th of the season allowed by Howard.
Well, and actually an interesting bit here. The two lefties in the lineup, Will Anderson and Charlie Degler, the only two legends to reach so far in this game.
Anderson was left on first base. We'll see what Tucker Beal does in his second trip. Hits a cue shot up the first baseline and right into the glove of Paul Lazul. That's now the second time that Howard's gotten one pitch on one out after giving up a base runner. The Legends have been uber aggressive the second they get somebody on base. And Nicholas Albro has gone and taken over the first base coaching duties. He's a pitcher on the ball club. Villa squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball. Quincy from Springfield, Virginia. It's a long way out here to play his summer ball in Menlo Park, and he takes a called strike 1-1. Around the CCL North, there's actually only one other game, and that's Walnut Creek and San Francisco scoreless in the third. Villa hits one to Schlafer at third. He has to make a quicker play this time, and it goes through the glove of Paul Lazul and kicks down the line. Lucas Townsend is going to throw up a late stop sign at third base, and that error goes on Lazul. It seemed like it just went right through the first baseman's glove. It would have been a close play with Villa, but going to third base is Degler. Quincy Villa ends up at second base, and now Howard has to work out of trouble, and nothing can get past Connor Pulowski.
And just after we talked about Schlafer making a nice play, getting the right hop he wanted just a moment ago for the first out of the inning, he ran himself into kind of an awkward hop there, had to rush the throw a little bit. It ended up high. I don't know if it was off the tip of the glove of Lazul or if it did in fact go through. He's got the same glove on, so one can only imagine it went off the top, but not an ideal break for the Stompers.
First pitch misses to James Bowes, who grounded out to shortstop his first trip. A 1-0 over the outside corner. Now, 4 minutes ago when I said Walnut Creek and San Francisco were tied at nothing, Ryan Ellis has just hit a grand slam to put Walnut Creek up 4-0. So Stompers need this one to keep pace. They play a scoreless game in the top of the third inning, and time's called by the hitter, James Bowes. Not a guy you want to face in this spot. A .328 hitter, 7 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. Both of those long balls came here against Sonoma. 1-1 offer. Popped up, very shallow left field. Nick Sebastiani, the left fielder, makes the call, and the two-handed catch. In and out of trouble works David Howard midway through inning number 3. Menlo Park nothing, Sonoma coming up. Trevor Schlafer, who was in the box when Cam Hegeman got thrown out, well, now has his first chance at a full at-bat in a Stomper uniform. He leads off the third. He'll be followed by the top of the order. That's Landon Akers and Colton Boardman. Schlafer takes a called strike one. Nice pitch. Outer corner. Lee, a tall righty out of San Jose. Rocks and pitches. Schlafer takes. Same pitch, same call. The count's 0-2.
And we've probably seen 15 of that exact pitch the first time through the lineup. The Stompers are going to have to learn to take that pitch into right field, sit back, let it travel, and find the barrel on the outer half.
0-2 offer to Schlafer. Low, 1-2. That one came in at 79 from Lee, who's set to deliver his 33rd pitch of the outing. No action behind him in the bullpen. Well, a guy that's been lengthened out. He went 5 1/3 when he pitched against Sonoma. Schlafer goes the other way, but right to the second baseman, Bose, who throws him out by a step. The putout goes 4-3. He also went 8 1/3 against San Francisco, and we know Nick Sanziri and that coaching staff has no problem letting their pitchers go over 100 pitches, even in summer ball. Landon Akers, who has the only Sonoma hit of the ball game. That was a soft single to center field. That led off the ball game. He's up with 1 out in the third.
And even with that single going right back up the middle, a lot of space between Bose and Beal up the middle.
Yeah, I thought that was just the setup on Hageman. This is a setup on everybody. Akers takes, and it misses. It's 2 balls and no strikes. That was a weird pitch. It kicked off of Cowens' glove and just hit Harvey Maxey straight in the chest protector. Two balls and no strikes on the dangerous Landon Akers. The pitch. That one's in there. Slider that sort of just sat in the middle of the zone. Akers couldn't pull the trigger. Maybe one he wants back. We'll see what he gets on 2-1. It's a fastball and he fouls it back and out of play. The count's 2-2. Sonoma's first 2 hitters in the first inning got aboard, and the next 7 have been retired consecutively. Hageman was hit by a pitch but caught stealing. 2-2 coming, righty on righty. Lee delivers, and it's hit hard but foul the opposite way. That's a challenge pitch from Joseph Lee. He says, here's 81, top of the zone. Landon Akers was just a little bit late. We'll do another 2-2 offer. Akers sends this one to center field, not deep. Shaddix comes on, but gives way to the second baseman, Bose, who makes the catch. Brings up Colton Boardman. Boardy, as they call him, a little bit frustrated at the plate lately. Got off to such a hot start offensively. He's cooled down a little bit, still getting on base over 400, so the numbers are still there for Colton, who takes low. The count's 1-0. The 1-0 check swing, cold strike to the lefty. The count's a ball and a strike. We've really just seen the fastball and the slider so far. The 1-1 outside, 2-1. Do that slider again. Righty on lefty. Lee pitches. Boardman grounds it towards second. Bose tries to field the short hop, does. Slings it to first base in time. So James Bose is part of all 3 outs in a 1-2-3 third. Roman Raffelli takes over on the play-by-play duties when we come back for the top of the 4th inning. 0-0 on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
First base, number 25, Will
David Howard set for his 4th inning of work. He's given up just 1 hit. First pitch hit hard at McCann. Libby Fields throws in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Top of the 4th, that was Will Anderson, who had the lone hit of this ball game, but is now 1 for 2.
First time he's retired a lefty.
Exactly what I was about to say, Kieran. Both lefties the first time through. Will Anderson and Charlie Degler get on base, but Anderson retired the second time. Brings up Dane Most, 12 hits and 7 RBIs on the CCL season so far. A 3.43 average entering today's ball game. 1-0 outside corner for strike number 1, excuse me. The 1-1 misses out. Two-one fouled off the foot of Most.
The numbers tell you Dane's getting on base here. 500 on base percentage, and they retired him the first time.
It's the beer batter Gavin Shaddix due up. He's on deck now. Struck out and gave any fan who wanted one a half-price beer in the second. I'm sure he'll leave the fans barking for more next at bat. The 2-2 misses low at the feet of Most. It'll be a payoff pitch coming from David Howard.
Yeah, it's been a fun start to Bark in the Park. The pet parade, all the dogs came on the field. Busy weekend at Arnold.
3-2 hit hard through the left side of the infield. It's a one-out single. And a runner on for the Legends.
Now batting our beer batter of the night, center fielder number 2, Gavin Shaddix.
Shaddix played his 2025 spring at Ohlone College, now headed to Stephen F. Austin down in Nacogdoches, Texas. Hits this one to the left, fielded, not fielded by either, and now third base wide open, the defense scrambling to get the ball. That'll go down E5. Went off the bottom of the glove of Schlafer, who's now made 2 errors in his Stompers debut.
That one you could even see it from here. Probably a little amped, playing in front of the big Arnold Field crowd. He was dreaming of starting the 5-4-3 double play. He was ranging towards second base to the glove side and just didn't make sure he had it in his glove before he turned to throw to second base.
So it's 2 on, 1 out for Will Robbins. Today's DH enters today 13 hits for the Legends on the year, a .245 average. He grounded out to McCann Libby to end the second inning.
Yeah, Howard's done a nice job of keeping the ball on the ground. He hasn't turned double plays when guys got on base, but this would be a nice time to do it.
Comes set and delivers. It's fouled off over the first base dugout. And with how Howard pitches, he is able to rack up the strikeouts, but equally skilled at just getting some weak contact, keeping it on the infield. The speed difference between the fastball and the changeup enough to just get the batter to hit it off the end.
Yeah, it's at times 18 miles an hour.
The 1-1 works its way towards the plate, but finishes low, and they're going to pick over to first base. Lazul crept behind Shaddix, who's now on a run down. No one's at first base, and what a break for Gavin Shaddix.
Oh, no.
Connor Pulowski and Paul Lazul just kind of read each other's minds. Gavin Shaddix was standing 8 feet off the bag looking at who knows what, certainly not the ball. They pick to first, get a run down towards second, but then with the runner going second to third, that's Dane Most. David Howard went to third base rather than first, so it's now corners with no out earned.
Yeah, that's just a couple people fell asleep at the wheel there defensively after what started as such a heads-up play by Sonoma.
It's popped up over the first base dugout again, and that was really a super heads-up play. We've seen Connor Pulowski all season long just maintain runners on base very well, but there it's not able to pay off, and fortunately for Gavin Shaddix, he was able to outrun Paul Lazul, who had the beat on him, but started about 2 feet behind and just couldn't catch up. It's 2-2. They're going to pick to first. Shaddix takes off to second. It's another rundown. This time they're going to come home. Boardman pump fakes and goes back to first. Now Lazul running down Shaddix towards second. Libby's going to tag him out, but a run earned by the offense.
That one was executed correctly in a sense. You get the out. There, Boardman's decision was you come home and try and gun down the run at the plate, and in a situation where it pays off, there's a runner at second. In a situation that it doesn't, then a run score and a runner on, it's a whole mess. You take the out. I think you're fine to take the out here.
It's early in the ball game. It looks like it might be a low-scoring affair, but you get the out. That's the important part. It's now 2-2 to Robbins, who hits it into shallow left. Sebastiani camped and squeezes it for the third out. A run comes across to score. That was after the Danemost single, and then some interesting play on the bases. It's 1-0 Menlo Park. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth here on the Sonoma Stompers Radio Network. Bottom of the fourth, the Stompers now find themselves in a one-run hole early in this one, and not usually a big deal, but the Stompers have struggled to generate offense in recent games. McCain Libby stands in his second at-bat. He struck out in the bottom of the first. He squared bunt twice, and unable to get it put down. Swings and fouls this one off to start the count 0-1.
That's a slider, bottom of the zone, and I don't hate the swing there from Libby. The Stompers need to get something going offensively. They don't have a hit since the third pitch of the game.
Lee been effective and dominant with the slider. The 0-1, it's fastball, fouled back. 0-2 now to Libby.
Yeah, the Stompers got 5 hits in 5 1/3 innings a week ago, 2 weeks ago, beg your pardon, against Lee, but I guess that's just baseball.
Lee winds, delivers. It's a fastball outside corner, a slider. Started it middle out and worked its way towards the left-handed batter's box. It's 1-2. The 1-2, swing and a miss. He got Libby on the slider, his second strikeout of the evening and the 5th for the Stompers.
Out of Bellarmine University, catcher number 9, Connor Pulowski.
Brings up the backstop, Connor Pulowski, who's been in a bit of a slump, but has 15 RBI on the season. That's on 9 hits and has had a very good year against the Legends. First pitch, fastball misses high. Thanks for joining us here in Sonoma. Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa. on the Stompers Broadcast Network. It's 1-0 to Pulowski. Taken low and in, 2-0. And so far in this one, through the first three, there have been 3 2-0 counts to the Stompers. They've taken all 3 2-0 pitches, and all 3 have been in the zone for a strike. The 2-0 here, taken in the zone for a strike, now the 4th time this evening.
I mean, analytics team should be worried. You're doing this and calling the ball game. What are they doing?
So it's 2-1 to Pulowski. The wind and delivery, same pitch, same spot, same call, 2-2.
That's just a joke, of course. I love our analytics team. They do outstanding work for us.
The 2-2 hit high and deep to right. Degler going to the sideline, stumbles but makes the catch. 2 gone in the inning.
That's what you wanted a little bit of going to the opposite field. The problem was that's a pull pitch. That's fastball middle up. That's yours.
Brings to the plate Nick Sebastiani. 15 hits, 19 strikeouts on the season. His 19th was back in the first. First pitch, low in the zone for a strike. It's the slider. We've seen Joseph Lee pitch backwards several times, and why wouldn't you if you have that kind of a slider? It's 0-1. Misses high fastball. Lee from the right has worked a very nice 3 2/3 to start today's ball game. This one hit hard right at the shortstop, Beal. He fields on the run, throws, and only gets Sebastiani by about half a step. Anderson made a nice stretch to get out in front. The Stompers go down 1-2-3 for the 3rd inning in a row. We'll head to the top of the 5th here in Sonoma. Top of 5, Howard back out on the bump. 44 bullets through 4. That's a very efficient evening. First pitch slipped out of the hand. Was a changeup, but didn't break or end anywhere close to the plate. It's Blake Cowens, Charlie Degler, Tucker Beal, 8-9-1 here in the 5th. First pitch hit hard on a hop to Libby, who fields and throws to Lazul. 4-3 to start the inning, the same we saw last inning.
Howard's been really good. Honestly, even the 2 hits he given up haven't really been hard hit baseballs. 2 errors behind him. A knock on him as he didn't cover first base on the pickoff play, and that's really led to the only run given up. But only 1 walk. He's really done everything you could ask for.
And that walk came to Charlie Degler, the batter at the plate. Entered today's game 5 hits and a .313 average. Takes a strike there, now ahead 0-2.
The problem is the last 12 Stompers have gone down in order. That was after it was 2nd and 3rd, nobody out in the 1st inning.
The 0-2, Degler got a piece but was well out in front of the changeup. Degler plays his ball at University of Puget Sound. The 0-2 got him well out in front, leaned nearly outside of the left-handed batter's box, but did not swing the bat. Howard gets a sign. Wines delivers, fouled off home plate. It's a foul ball. So it's 1-2, an interesting call there. Hard to tell, but the way we've seen it called most of the time in the CCL, just best to say it hit the plate. It's 1-2, swing and a miss. He got the changeup past Degler. He was sitting, knowing that he's been out ahead, but sat too long. It's the second strikeout on the evening for Howard. And it brings up Tucker Beal, the shortstop, 0 for 2 on the day, but enters today hitting .308. First pitch misses in, it's 1-0. A nice change there, catches the lower third, it's 1-1. Howard looking for his first 1-2-3 inning since the first. This one hits the foot of Tucker Beal, so he'll be aboard first time this evening, and the first hit by pitch, second free pass issued from Howard.
Beal 3 steals. The Legends have already been aggressive on the base paths early, especially if one of those pitches coming in at 66 miles an hour. That's the one you want to run on if you're Menlo Park, but Howard a lefty. He's honestly kept the runners close.
Lefty looks to first, delivers, and it gets past Pulowski. Just over the glove there. Quincy Villa briefly showed bunt, likely got in the vision of Pulowski, and he just missed that one. So Beal advances to second on what I believe is a passed ball.
I think it was a cross-up. The answer is he got to second on a cross-up. It probably goes in the book as a wild pitch. I mean, pitch missed well up above the zone.
So Beal was hit by a pitch, stands on second. The first two, Cowens and Degler, retired to start the inning. It's 1-0 to Quincy Villa. Pitch in the dirt, a nice block from Pulowski to keep the runner where he is. 2-0 to Villa. Not where Howard likely wants to be. Howard gets the sign, comes set at the belt. Runner fakes the steal. It's on the outside corner for a strike. A nice bounce back pitch there from Howard. Howard takes a look to second and comes set. Delivers home. It's hit right back up the middle. Fielded on a couple hops from Libby. He throws across and gets the out. A tough play. Ball hits off the mound, but Libby there to field it. The Legends leave one on a hit by pitch. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Joseph Lee enters the bottom of the 5th with 51 pitches on the board, and that's a great number to be at when you're a guy who throws as many sliders as he does. He's been in complete control of the off-speed stuff, able to land it consistently with a little bit of help from home plate umpire Harvey Maxey, but he's been great through 4. First pitch misses inside to Brady Shannon, who struck out in the 2nd. He was pitched backwards, just like we're potentially going to see here. First pitch slider. The 1-0 misses low and in. He went to the fastball, so it's 2-0. It's the 5th count. We'll see how this one pans out, but so far they've been in the zone, called strikes the first 4 times. It misses the zone, and a almost swing, but not a swing from Brady Shannon puts him now in a 3-0 count. He winds, and an incredibly late call from Harvey Maxey. Was by no means any attitude or anything from Brady Shannon. He just didn't hear the call, so he started to walk to first.
Yeah, he waited. He took a half look back.
So it's 3-1 and called for a strike, and then a bit of a point to say stay in the box or something. It's tough to tell how umpires take when you walk out and you think it's a ball, but luckily didn't help Shannon's case there. The payoff pitch swung on and missed, and Shannon bites his tongue after being ejected a few games ago for arguing balls and strikes.
Yeah, how that at-bat played out was the 3-0 was a strike, the 3-1 was not a strike, and then he swung.
Brings up Paul Lazul. Swings and misses. Slider low. Lazul flew out to left. His first at bat. Hits this one on a line down the right field line. There's a chance it gets to the wall. It does. He's going to have extra bases. Cruising into second, standing up. It's a one-out double from Paul Lazul.
Yeah, Lazul's first 8 hits of this season were singles. The last 2 have been doubles, and one of them was in a 10-1 game in the 9th. This one, he represents the tying run in the 5th.
So that Lazul's 10th hit of this season brings up Cam Hegeman, who, between the walk from Boardman, the second batter of the game for the Stompers, and that double from Lazul, the only runner to reach, and he was caught stealing to end the 2nd. Stands in on the right. Was hit by a pitch in a 2-2 count. His first time up. First pitch inside corner, strike 1. Lazul leads off second. The pitch to Hegeman misses in the dirt. A nice block from Cowens to keep that in front.
Yeah, Cowens was the catcher during the game where Pulaski hit the walk-off, and the Stompers had that runner at third base that entire 9th inning, and we were set up for a pass ball winning it. Cowens has been outstanding behind the plate in the time that we've seen him so far.
It's 1-1 to Hegeman. Fouls it off. It was off-speed outside corner, pitch that likely would have been called. We've seen it several times this evening, but does a good job to spoil it. Hegeman now battling 1-2. The pitch, slider, started it outside corner, missed it outside. Hegeman, nice play discipline, saw the spin and spit. It's 2-2.
Lazul has 2 steals this season. Both of them have sort of come on. One was a catcher's indifference. One was like a runner's on the corners. They weren't throwing through, but I wonder if you send him.
Hegeman fouls this one back. Lazul took off when he saw it pass, but It got a piece of the barrel, and a nice approach here from Cam Hageman, just his sixth at-bat with the Stompers, seeing some pitches, earning himself a quality at-bat, and fighting to get a fastball against the slider-heavy Lee. It's 2-2. Lee set, takes a look back at Lazul, and comes to the plate. It's fouled back again off the foot of Hageman. Hageman has seen 6, fouled off a couple, and watched a couple. It's 2-2. Lazul on second. Stompers down 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. Lee set, delivers. It's chopped to the left side. Lazul backs up to second, and the throw in time, though Anderson came off the bag very quickly, so not a productive at-bat for the Stompers. Hageman is retired 6-3.
Stompers are now 0 for 4 with at-bats and runners in scoring position today. It's been an issue all year. And getting that runner from second to third, we were talking to the Stomper coaching staff about that.
First pitch misses outside to Trevor Schlafer.
And Kenny, who's, really first year as a collegiate league head coach, was like, that doesn't really matter, right? And in an MLB situation, it doesn't. But with the amount of balls that get past the catchers here, getting from second to third means a lot.
This one hit high and deep down the right field line. Going back is Degler, and he makes a diving effort to snag the ball, gets a hat tip from Joseph Lee, and the inning is retired. The Stompers now 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, down a run here on the Sonoma Stompers radio network. Jackson Rowland enters the game for the Stomps. Relieves David Howard. Rowland on the year, 10 innings pitched, just a .9 ERA, been one of the best out of the pen. He also started a game for the Stomps. 9 strikeouts, just 2 walks and 6 hits. Always nice to have strikeouts higher than the walks plus hits. First pitch inside for a strike to James Bose.
Yeah, the only run he's given up was a home run to this guy at the plate right here, James Bose. That was a 5-5 game in the 9th inning, and Bose clipped him. So this is the second battle between the two this season.
This one hit high and deep towards the scoreboard in right. Ranging over is Hegeman, and he makes the catch.
Jackson got him this time, and he came on in relief of Howard, who went 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 unearned run. He walked a batter, he hit a batter, and he struck out 2. And he's right now on the hook for what would be a very unfortunate loss.
And the lone run he gave up was Dane Most on a really weird 4th inning. We could really probably blame the mental error on that lone run with the base not being covered during a rundown. First pitch misses inside to Will Anderson, who is 1 for 2 on the day.
Stompers have arms available out of the bullpen today. We saw in Walnut Creek this weekend, they go starter for 5 and then 4 relievers for an inning each. I wonder, Roland definitely can show that he has length. He's gone 6 innings, 2 innings, 2 innings. We'll see how Zach plays this out.
Second pitch misses in, now behind 2-0 to Anderson, who had 10 hits entering today's ballgame. He tacked on his 11th, which was his 8th single. He's also got 3 doubles. The 2-0 inside again. That would have hit Anderson had he not slid out of the way. It's 3-0.
These are command issues we don't usually see from Jackson.
He's yanked 3 fastballs, winds for the 3-0, outside corner for a strike. So it's 3-1. Roland delivers. It's hit hard right at Cam Hegeman, who comes on to make a sliding catch. That ball got down in a hurry, and the sun in the eyes of Hegeman. A tough thing to play through, especially in just his 2nd game with the Stomps.
Yeah, that's another one where you could have seen Degler in the top of this inning had to go into a dive to make a play. You are looking directly into the sunshine. And I said command issues on the 3-0. He came back and won the battle.
And a very nice job there. He's gotten 2 pieces of pretty hard contact to start this one, both flyouts to right, but no harm, no foul out of the pen. First pitch to Dane Most is hit softly into center field. Akers ranges to his left, and it's 1-2-3. 3 flyouts in the 6th. We'll head to the bottom half here on the Sonoma Stompers Radio Network. Bottom of the 6th, Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. It's the top of the order, due up for the Stompers, looking to even this game down a run. Landon Akers shows bunt, pulls it back. It's called a ball. Misses inside. Akers 1 for 2 on the day, a pop out to second and a single that was in the first. Both those balls really ended up in about the exact same spot, just behind second base. Well ahead of a nice slider from Joseph Lee, beginning his 6th inning of work, and it's been a beauty. Just 2 hits, 3 total base runners. 4 base runners, 1 cut down, stealing. It's 1-1. The pitch misses high, 2-1. Lee winds, delivers. It's a slider in the dirt.
The tick up on that slider. His slider's been 77 to 79. He found to 80.
So it's 3-1 to Akers, called on the inside corner for a strike, and that's been called all evening.
Just a hair off the inside corner, but at some point, Stompers are going to have to swing the bat.
The payoff pitch to Akers misses inside low. It's ball 4 to lead off the inning. It's the second walk. The first was Colton Boardman, who now takes to the box. That was the second batter of this ball game. Saw Akers steal a bag in the first. That was his 8th of the season. First pitcher misses outside to Boardman. Excuse me, his 9th of the season. He entered today with 8. The Bellarminite leads off first. The pitch to Boardman misses high, and we've seen something this inning we haven't seen much of throughout this ball game, and it's Joseph Lee falling behind in the count. It's now 2-0.
I think Nick Sanzeri might be seeing what you see. There's some milling around down there in the Menlo Park bullpen.
The 2-0 taken for a strike by Colton Boardman. It's 2-1. Lee from the right, Boardman from the left. The pitch, outside corner, strike 2. What was a 2-0 count is now 2-2. A couple of nifty sliders on the outside corner. Even it with a runner on first. Pitch, swing checked. They're going to check it to the umpire behind the mound, and it's called a checked swing, so it's full count, second time in the inning. We're just 2 batters deep here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-2. They check on Akers at first, back in time. First time we've seen Lee pick to first. And now a arm fully loosening in the Legends pen. The 3-2 runner goes. It's fouled off down the first base line.
I like that send. I like that send a lot.
The send there likely breaks up a double play if the ball is put in play on the infield and is certain first to third on a ball in the outfield, potentially even all the way around with the wheels we've seen from Landon Akers.
And Boardman doesn't strike out. 11 walks to 9 strikeouts. So the stats tell you he's not a guy that strikes out a lot. It's more than likely going to be ball 4 in this situation. If he puts the ball in the ground, stay out of a double play. If he puts the ball to the outfield, maybe tie the game.
Akers doesn't go here. It's hit right at the second baseman, Bose, who just goes to first to get the out of Boardman. So a swinging bunt for Colton Boardman. It goes 4-3, and Akers now safely aboard second.
Out of Louisiana Tech, second base number 49, McCann Libby.
McCann Libby takes the box, a pair of swinging strikeouts in today's ball game. Entered with a 224 average and 15 hits. And now we'll see a mound visit from the Legends pitching coach. It's not Nick Sanziri, so likely just a pep talk at the bump.
This could be talking about the running game, going to third. We saw Akers swipe third base last time he was on second. Libby came up first and second, tried to bunt. I don't really see a situation where you do that again here to put him to third base. I wouldn't be opposed to an early get ahead 1-0, go hit and run. Something like that. Get that runner in motion somehow.
Yeah. Libby certainly not a speed threat, not a slow runner for the Stompers, but utilized for his power and contact in the 3-hole, and it does look like we're going to see a pitching change made.
Wow.
It was right on right, Libby and Lee, but they don't want McCann, the Frisco native, to get a third look at Joseph. So we will take a break here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network, and when we come back, we'll introduce you to the new Legend arm.
I didn't know pitching coaches could make pitching changes. But it's fine.
That's a really weird move.
Oh, it's Sam Young. He throws gas. He pitched the ninth. He was charged for the loss against us. Remember? But he's nice. He's like kind of nice. I don't like swinging. I don't like swinging bunt in that context. It was a ground ball that moved a runner over, but like a swinging bunt's like a bunt that occurs when you're swinging.
Fair enough.
I would have just said like, yeah, move the runner, or like even just like close the conversation you were having, right? We had the whole talk about how we
that's
put
fair.
the runner in motion. I only like swinging bunt if it's like a ball that could have been a bunt.
Got it.
But I did that at the start of the year. I said
Fair.
it plays out as a swinging bunt when I shouldn't have said that. So
Got it.
what? He pitched 2/3 here.
Yeah, he pitched the ninth, and then we didn't need a third out.
He came in. Remember, he came in to that inning. How many outs? Yeah, he got
Yeah, he gave up the hit to Connor.
Pulaski.
Yeah.
But I don't think he started that ninth inning. That's what I'm saying. Am I wrong? I
go
have
look.
it.
Yeah. I've been saying that for the last 3 weeks. Yeah. No. Here. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So he came on in the
Came
ninth.
in with 1 out and
You want to do him again? That's how we did it last time. Yeah, but he was hooked for a tough loss.
right.
I could
Yeah.
do Lee. How many
Sounds
did he
good.
hit? One?
2-1. All right. It's Sam Young who was tacked with the loss when these two teams met, and Connor Pulowski played hero for the Stompers. He came in with an out, recorded a second, but then gave up the single to the Stomper backstop. He gets McCann Libby to foul off the first pitch he sees. It's 0-1 with 1 out. Landon Akers still stands on second.
Got to get Pulowski up here. He's played hero against him before. Young, a very hard-throwing right-hander out of Richmond. First pitch clocked at 93.
So a change of pace, both metaphorically and literally, as Lee was heavy on the slider and a fastball in the mid-80s, but not a lot of those. We'll see a heavy dosage of fastballs from Young, and that one's closer to 93, 94.
5 1/3 innings, 2 walks, a hit batsman, 6 Ks. They're responsible for Landon Akers out at second base, a shutout so far.
And it was a great start from Joseph Lee. Had great command of the slider, able to work it both inside and out and ride the edges very effectively. It's 1-1 after a fastball misses low to Libby. Young has pitched 2 1/3 on the season, but that's through 5 different appearances. Goes off speed, 1-1, misses in, it's 2-1.
6 earned runs over 2 1/3 does not make for a pretty ERA.
The 2-1 hit high into shallow right field. Degler and Bose both coming to make the grab, and it is Degler. Akers tags up, heads to third. The throw not in time. So the P9 moves the runner, but now 2 outs for Connor Pulowski.
And Sam Young, who did have one wild pitch that scored a run in that 9th inning, faces Pulowski, who had the walk-off single against him. But when you throw 94, especially at this level, the command's not always there. Blake Cowan says his work cut out for him here in this Pulowski at-bat.
Anything past scores a run. First pitch misses high, and I suppose maybe the one situation where a ball to the backstop doesn't score a run is if it's straight back, not touched, bounces hard off the backstop and kicks back. With a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, it could be there. That one at the feet of Pulowski. If that gets away, it scores a run. So it's 2-0 to Pulowski. The 7th said count for the Stomps. 2-0, hits him on the wrist. Also gets a piece of Cowan's, who's going to take his time, but Pulowski seems just fine. So it's a hit by pitch, the second Stomper hit, but the first by Young. It puts runners on the corners with 2 outs, and that's not a terrible spot to give up a free pass. It sets up an out at second if the ball's hit to the middle. It's still right on right with Sebastiani, who's got a strikeout and a ground out in today's ball game.
Is this the Legends' 1st and 3rd situation where they scored the run was with 1 out? You can't get Pulowski caught in a rundown, but make him make a play. That's what Stumper's whole mentality offensively is. Run, hit the ball on the ground, put the ball in play, make them make the play.
First pitch, a big swing and miss from Sebastiani. If he found a barrel there, that ball would still be sailing through the Sonoma air. It's 0-1 to Sebastiani. Pulowski goes. They don't make a throw. The ball's in the dirt, but blocked by Cowens. Now 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs in a 1-1 count. And as much as Sebastiani wants a long ball here, just a modest piece of hitting will get the job done. It's 1-1, pitch outside, a nice take from Sebastiani, who's probably thankful there's not that filthy slider from Lee coming at him. That would be a tough pitch to hit in this situation. 2-1, Young comes set, delivers, it misses low, the 3rd ball in the dirt. It's now 3-1. Pulowski on 2nd, Landon Akers on 3rd. Young comes set, takes a breath, and delivers. It misses outside. It's a 5-pitch walk to Nick Sebastiani. The 2nd walk of the inning, the 3rd free pass. Those are the 3 runners on base, and it brings up the Youngstown State Penguin, Brady Shannon.
This would be a heck of a time to break out for an 0 for 9 if you're Brady Shannon. His parents came all the way from Youngstown, Ohio for the week to watch him play. Go find a knock for your mom and dad coming out here.
First pitch to Shannon, bounces at home plate. Landon Akers comes across to score. And the runners move now second to third in a tied ball game. Stompers on the board in typical Stomper fashion.
Stomper special, no other way you'd want to draw it up.
So the wild pitch puts the Stompers on the board. We had alluded to it for most of the inning. It comes to play. Now second and third for Brady Shannon. Shannon was ahead 2-0 and even 3-0 in his last at-bat last inning, but struck out. Anyways, the 1-0 hit hard, high, and foul over the first base dugout. Shannon has a home run on the year as well as 9 RBI. It's 1-1. Young delivers, misses in, gloved by Cowens.
.96 on the gun from Young.
Young ramping up, but unable to locate his last several pitches. The 2-1 in there breaks the bat that is just slivered in half. The barrel side of that one flies nearly all the way to second base. Nick Sebastiani is going to walk it to Charlie Hale, the Stompers bat boy, and now Brady Shannon goes and grabs the baby blue lumber that he got after breaking his bat just a couple days ago.
Charlie Hale really does it all for this ball club. He's the special assistant to the general manager, helps out in the dugout. He was the first guy at the ballpark here today before all of the interns.
And the handle side of that bat given to a young softball fan in attendance this evening. It's 2-2, Shannon and Young.
That was a spear she was holding.
Don't need to be running with that. The 2-2 hits softly over the second baseman's head into right field. It'll score. Pulowski, Sebastiani comes in to score the throw, not made to home. A 2-out knock from Brady Shannon knocks him out of a slump and scores a pair. The Stompers with a 3-1 lead here in the 6th.
You saw his dad excited, standing up and cheering. You come a long way to watch your son play baseball. It don't get much better than that. Big 2 RBI knock for Brady.
The Stompers entered the 6th, down a run, and had put the ball on the ground for hits just twice, but they get 1 hit this inning paired with 2 walks and a hit by pitch. They've scored 3 runs in typical Sonoma fashion. This one gets away from Cowens, and Brady Shannon moves into scoring position. It's Paul Lazul, who had a double last inning, was his 10th hit of the year. Now stands at the plate against Young.
RBIs 10 and 11 for Shannon. The Stompers double-digit ribbies number grows. That run closes the line on Lee, 5 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned.
This one misses high to Lazul. And we weren't really expecting, at least up here in the press box, we weren't expecting a pitching change for the Legends when they made one. It begs the question, could Lee have gotten out of the jam? Young, since entering, has gotten an out, but hit a batter, walked a batter, and given up a single. The 2-0 misses high and out. It gets behind Cowens. Shannon paused halfway, but gets under the tag. That was a roller coaster for Shannon. He initially saw the ball passed, but then hesitated when he saw it hit the glove and then continued to take off when he realized he was 60 feet there. He gets under the tag, moves just 90 feet away. Lazul ahead 3-0, takes the strike. So it's 3-1 to Lazul. Young set, and Shannon at third. Swing and a miss. It's deadlocked at 3-2. Lazul stands in the left. The pitch from the righty, Young, swings and misses. It's a strikeout to end the inning that was very productive for the Stomps. They erase a 1-0 deficit. They put 3 on the board and will head to the bottom of the 7th. Kieran Costa takes you through the final 3. It's Sonoma Stompers baseball here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Top half of inning number 7. I'm Kieran Costa taking back over the play-by-play duties from Roman Raffelli. And the first pitch, Roland delivers, is hit into left center field. That ball is still carrying, and Landon Akers still going back. Makes a running play in the alley, 1 down.
That ball just seemed to go and go and go. It wasn't particularly loud off the bat. It wasn't hit particularly hard, but just found some wind up by the lights and continued to carry. Now, since Roland has entered the game, it's a pair of flyouts to right, followed by a pair of flyouts to center.
Yeah, Roland putting the ball in the zone and inducing early swings. It's taken him 9 pitches to produce, as you mentioned, those 4 different flyouts. He delivers in there for a called strike. A late call from Harvey Maxey just clips the bottom of his zone right at the knees. That's a very difficult pitch to hit. Roland comes home. Low, skipped in there. Pulowski on the backhand. The count's 1-1. The Stompers put 3 runs across in the last of the 6th inning. Nick Sanziri went to the bullpen, and his reliever could not do it. That one got a piece of him. I think Connor Pulowski's a little bit confused on why he's going to first, as is Zach Pace. And Will Robbins heads to first with a hit by pitch and maybe an Oscar nomination.
And I don't really know what just transpired, because Robbins backed out of the box and then proceeded to look at the home plate umpire like, did that hit me? And the umpire said, yeah, we'll go with it, and sends him to first. It wasn't a very firm call, and the first person out to first base should be Will Robbins, and he wasn't even thinking he had it.
Robbins is a big leadoff first. He doesn't run, and that one's high and tight. Buzzes the tower on Blake Cowens. The count's 0-1. Actually, you're right. It wasn't an Oscar-worthy performance. He didn't even sell it. A check on him, a wide throw. and diving back to the bag safely. And with a 2-run lead, I love the Stompers trying to hold their runners. But they were burned that way a couple times this weekend. Robbins not running. Rowland comes home, cut on and missed at 84. The last hit for Menlo Park was with 1 out in the 4th. Rowland looking to roll up a double play on Blake Cowens, who's grounded out to second base, and also he's grounded out to third base. Rowland delivers, swing and a miss. Slider below the zone, and we talk about it a lot. That's that Modesto JC slider. They love the fastball slider mix. Brandon Leone, also Modesto JC guy, throws it too. Another check on first base, another throw. That's wide of the bag. Lazul does a nice job of corralling it. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Menlo Park, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 miscues for Sonoma. Rowland pitches low. Pulowski took a look, but did not pick back to first. The pitch is hit foul down the first baseline and out of play, 2-2. Rowland looking for a put-away pitch on Cowens, who represents the tying run in the 7th. That one's low, outside, 3-2. And Zach Pace has arms available in his bullpen. You wonder how long the leash is for Jackson Rowland. No one up and loosening right now. Payoff is hit foul again. 7th pitch on the way between these two. The runner on first, that's Will Robbins. He has 1 stolen base on the season. The runner at the plate is Blake Cowens. He has 8 hits, all singles. He'd need an extra base hit to get the Legends a run back here with 1 out and 1 on in the 7th. Rowland in his 2nd inning of relief delivers low ball 4. He retired the first 4, but hit by pitch walk. He's in a little bit of trouble with the 9-hitter Charlie Degler coming up, and then the issue would be the top of the order.
And still plenty of time here if you're Rowland to roll a ground ball, the defense turns it, and you're done. The inning's over, no threat, but, you know, 1 more free pass, you have bases loaded, top of the order, and, well, that hasn't been terribly effective so far, but you don't want the danger.
Maybe Mike Nunez sees something in that first base dugout, so he's going to come to the mound. He'll be joined by the entire infield, and Coach Townsend will have a talk with Charlie Degler. Degler's 5 for 17 on the season so far. He has 2 RBIs, and all 5 of those have been singles. He's set up first and second with 1 out here in the visitors' half of inning number 7. And someone's jogging down to the Legends bullpen. You wonder if you send Sam Young back out there. He struggled. So, Nooney, as they call him, heads back to the Stomper dugout down the first baseline. We'll see what he told Rowland to do with the 9-hitter Degler. And I hope it's go after him. Trust your stuff. It's been working so far. The free pass is the only thing that kills him. He's gotten 4 flyouts when the ball is in the zone. It's right on lefty, Rowland and Degler. Rowland staring into Pulowski to get his sign, finds the one he likes, and pitches. Just outside and low. Good pitch, Jackson Rowland. Harvey Maxey disagreed and called it ball 1. Degler, University of Puget Sound logger during the season. Hit under 200 there this year. The pitch is bounced to first. Lazul, field, spins, throws to second. The relay to first won't be made. Colton Boardman with a spin after he caught it and decided not to make that throw, and that was a heads-up decision by Colton. So an early swing. It goes 3-6, fielder's choice. Degler's at first base. Robbins goes from second to third, and Cowens is erased. That brings up Tucker Beal.
And now first and third, a similar situation to what we saw in the fourth when they scored the run. Stompers defense needs to be on their toes.
Runner at first base, that's Degler. We'll see if they run in a first and third situation. They don't. The pitch is 86 miles an hour through the heart. Counts 0-1. Sonoma have these Menlo Park Legends again on Sunday at 1:05. A check on first and a risky one with the runner at third. The counts 0-1. Degler from first, Robbins from third, Roland home. That one blocked by Pulowski. It kicks away. There'll be a play at the plate. The tag! He got him! Heads up play. Connor Pulowski. Jackson Roland covers the plate, and they get him. No Stomper specials in this house. We head to the 7th inning stretch. Sonoma still leads it 3-1. The first pitch of the bottom of the 7th misses high, and the counts 1 ball and no strikes to Cam Hegeman, who's bounced out and been hit by a pitch so far. The righty Young delivers high with a fastball. Hegeman now 1 for 4 in his time here in Sonoma. He's 1 for 2 on stolen bases, was caught in inning number 2. The 2-0 is lined foul, and that's the first swing from the Sonoma Stompers, well ahead in the count 2-0 today on their 9th chance. 2-1. Bounced up the middle, ranging over his Beal. He cannot get it, and it's into center field. And we've talked so much about the defensive positioning. That's right at where the shortstop usually sets up. Tucker Beal was so far into the 6-hole.
And Cam Hageman, just his second game, but he's quickly becoming one of my favorite Stompers to watch play. He's swinging 2-0. He's finding the gaps the defense gives him. That's a great approach and a great at-bat to lead off the inning.
Hageman off first, it's low, 1-0. He stole a base yesterday, thrown out trying to steal a base today. Trevor Schlafer looking for his first Stomper hit. Bounces it foul to the Legends dugout, and the count's 1-1. No action in the Sonoma bullpen. You just go one more inning of Roland. You have Gens available, your closer maybe in an ideal world, we shall see. Hageman off first base, held on by Anderson. Not running, and Schlafer very late on 93. Now Beal and Bose are shaded towards second. This isn't even double play depth, this is normal depth, but 3 steps closer to the bag compared to where they usually play. Maybe Hageman runs, stay out of a double play on 1-2. He doesn't, and Schlafer hits a chopper towards second, could be 2. Bose tags the runner, Hageman throws to first, not in time. The very speedy Trevor Schlafer runs out of what could have been a double play. And if you're James Bose, maybe you want to a little more aggressively go for that tag and make that throw. But good job, Schlafer, hustling up the line. Goes fielder's choice 4 unassisted.
And that's a heads-up play if you're Cam Hageman. You avoided, or at least made it a little bit delayed on the tag before you, but also allowed Schlafer to get to first in time.
That one misses low, 1-0. And I know you're a Rockies fan, and that play, this could be the baseball nerd in me. If you remember the 2018 wild card game at Wrigley Field, in the 10th inning on the ground ball to Arenado that could have been a double play, and Javier Baez hugged him in the middle of the action to keep out of a double play. That's exactly what I thought Cam Hageman was going to do there.
Yeah, and I can remember 8th grade me thoroughly upset and still
should be
not a fan of Javi Baez.
Should have been 2.
Ridiculous umpiring in that game.
That one is low, 2-1. Rockies went on to win that game. An upset of sorts in Wrigley Field.
Well, it was
11 innings, right? Tony Walters got a hit.
Yeah.
We're deep down memory lane at this point.
And just, I mean, it doesn't get more runners interference than that. Why not just give the guy a hug so he can't make a throw?
That would have been called in the CCLs. This one's hit down the right field line. A long way to go for Degler, and he won't get it. It drops foul. The count's 2-2. Stompers have gotten runners interference on a lot less than that this season.
Might as well just drop a shoulder. Wow. Yeah, what a run that was for the Rockies, and it's been downhill since. You had, an infield of Arenado, Trevor Story, DJ LeMahieu, and then blink of an eye, one's traded, 2 are let walk, and we can't even put 30 wins together.
They're all over the map now. I know DJ's in New York, Trevor's in Boston. Arenado's been on the block for a while. This one's grounded third. This one could be 2. Instead, it kicks off Dane Most. His only plays to first, and it's not in time. That's an error charged against Dane Most. It's an Arnold Field error if I've ever seen one. That hit off the lip of the grass and just ate him up. Arenado makes that play. I mean, he's a platinum gold third baseman.
Yeah. And what sounds like the Rockies fan in me talking, greatest third baseman to do it defensively. I mean, some of the plays, you talk about the tarp catch, big plays like that. And
let's hear.
Well, today, exactly, in San Fran. That was a heck of a play there, but just a tough one for Most at third.
I wonder how many people watching remember the 10th inning of that 2018 wild card game other than us. You have to think it's a low number. Boardman squares to bunt. It kicks away from the catcher a long way. Almost went into the Stomper dugout. And while we're having this whole reminisce the 2018 playoffs, the Stompers have a chance to add some much-needed insurance, second and third with 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten off page, but the Stompers picking right back where they left off in the 6th, playing Stomper small ball, just working any way across, and now we're seeing the infield creep in.
Yeah, I like this decision. You have to cut down runs any way you can. Boardman was squaring to bunt. He's not squaring here, and he pops it up. Third base side. Most is going to watch it go out of play. Thank goodness. There was a second where I thought Dane Most had a beat on that baseball, and Boardman battles from 1-1. Boardman's walked and grounded out to second base twice. He has a chance to add to his RBI total with runners at second and third. The Stompers have already scored a run on a pass ball against Sam Young. The pitch to Boardman. Fastball, 93, catches the bottom of the zone. That ball has been given all night, so not much you can do if you're Colton Boardman. Two on, one out. Young to Boardman. That's lined into center field, sinking fast, and it's down for a base hit. Schlafer walks home from third. Holding is Akers. It's an RBI single. Colton Boardman breaks out, RBI number 8. Stompers tack on, it's 4-1.
And some smart base running there. The ball hit softly and was given up. Gavin Shaddix did not try to make a play on that one. Basically sacrificed the run in an attempt to throw out Landon Akers at home, but a smart stop sign put up by Dave Hoke. Now first and third for McCann Libby.
First and third, one out. This is the way the Legends scored their only run. We'll see if Boardman goes. He's tied for the team lead with 9 stolen bases. He doesn't run. It's grounded up the middle. Beal steps on the bag, throws to first in time to get him. A 6-3 double play ends the inning. For Sonoma, it's 1 run on 3 hits and 1 runner left on base, but Rome and I had a good time, and if you remember the 2018 playoffs, I hope you did too. We roll on to the 8th inning of play. The Stompers hold now a 4-1 lead. We're back for the top of the 8th inning of play. It's a new pitcher, Brandon Leone, coming out to the hill for Sonoma. That's on in relief of Jackson Rowland, who went 2 innings of no run, no hit ball. He walked a batter. He struck out a batter. But the biggest thing he did was cover home plate and get a caught stealing at home.
And a great tag put down to end that inning.
The first one that Leone delivers is bounce to second. Libby fields, throws, close play. They got him. So quick outs. That's what Rowland did. His Modesto JC teammate picks up right where he left off, 1 away.
And that's a really tough play for McCann Libby. Had to charge it. It died on the Arnold infield, and then has to field and throw from what's basically a submarine slot. He's practically bent over trying to whip that to Lazul, but he made it in time.
Leona, 5'10", 185-pound right-hander delivers. Quincy Villa pulls a bunt back and takes a called strike one. He has a 7.20 ERA over 5 innings pitched. That was really just one bad inning against Alameda. Since then, in 4 innings out of a bullpen, he's given up just 1 earned run. Maybe somebody a little more comfortable in a reliever role. And just to go back to our Rockies-Cubs conversation from the top of the last inning, as Villa put a bunt foul. It's 0-2. This will be the last we talk about that wild card game, but just to wrap it up, it was Freeland versus Hendricks, as I said, and Tony Walters delivered a pinch hit go-ahead single in the 11th, as I said, and as my dad used to tell me in my youth, I spent half the amount of time thinking about old baseball stats that I do about my schoolwork. I'd be at a place a whole lot better than Syracuse. And it is the best school for broadcast journalism, Dad. Come on.
And who doesn't love a little ball knowledge? It comes in
Come
handy when you
on.
can't imagine.
The 0-2 is lined into center field. This would be a heck of a play by Akers, and he has to play it on a hop. It kicks past him, but a nice play by Sebastiani to get there. It's a single. That brings up James Bowes.
A little ball knowledge never hurt anybody.
Come on. I don't think my junior year of high school history is helping me here. I mean, and we've gone over a lot on this broadcast about how I can't do simple math, so maybe you should have paid a little more attention there. Villa's off first base. He doesn't run, and the pitch is outside and low. And Quincy Villa has 17 stolen bases this season.
He's just got now 15 hits. That's an absurd ratio.
The pitch is a called strike outside corner, 1-1. Villa at Marymount University in Springfield stole 39 bases in 43 games. Stole 24 the year before. My goodness, he has 69 swipes over 3 seasons at Marymount. He's on first here, and maybe Brandon Leone got that scouting report as he checks over. The pitch is bounced, foul down the third baseline, and the count's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out as we play here in the top of inning number 8. Sonoma holds a 4-1 lead. The pitch is popped up. Lazul gives it a look, but watches it drift over the bullpen. And we'll do it again from a ball and 2 strikes. Villa's at first. He singled. He's yet to try and steal second, but if I was a betting man, I'd say that's in the cards. The hitter's James Bowes. He had 2 home runs here a couple weeks ago. Those are his only 2 tanks of the season. Leone with a nice little righty move. Wasn't that deceptive, but he threw it hard right on the runner. That's a nice play. And the first base umpire, Gary Frieders, isn't too happy with where Will Anderson is taking his swings. He's hedged very far towards home plate to get a better look at Brandon Leone. And this game's off the rails already. Remember when Adrian Beltre got ejected for not swinging from the on-deck circle back when he played in Texas?
What a time.
1-2 high and tight, and that one hits James Bowes in the hand. So Bowes, who just flipped his commitment, Loyola Marymount to Santa Clara, you think he's okay. It doesn't look like he was injured on the play. Sanziri is halfway out of the dugout to give it a look. But he'll stay home. And I think they're just making sure he's okay. That one's got a sting. I mean, it's still a warm one out here, but it's definitely plummeted from the 83 it was at first pitch. And Lucas Townsend headed back to his third base coaching duties. Sansiri back to the dugout. And, Will Anderson is the tying run. None of these happy-go-lucky jokes about Adrian Beltre getting ejected. Brandon Leone has a job to do righty-lefty against Will Anderson.
And the Legends putting together a nice little small ball rally, taking notes from the opposition.
First pitch is outside. The count's 1 ball and no strikes. Stompers middle infield shades for 2. That's Boardman at shortstop and Libby at second base. Lazul plays deep behind the runner at first base, and Trevor Schlafer even with the bag at third. The pitch is hit hard but foul down the left field line. The count's 1-1. We're back on the air tomorrow. That's a 6:05 first pitch, and I will be joined by broadcasting legend Amy Gutierrez, who was a long-time sideline reporter for the San Francisco Giants, still a writer, and does on-air work for that team. Come catch the 5th inning of tomorrow's broadcast. The 1-1 is outside and low. The count's 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. Leone delivers, and it's cut on and missed. 2-2. Villa's off second. He's singled. James Bowes was hit by a pitch. He's off first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Stompers would love a double play and just to hold this at a 3-run lead. Leone delivers. That one's lined into left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Sebastiani fields it on a hop, and the bases are loaded for Dane Most, the most dangerous hitter on this team, and I didn't even mean that one. Now's not the time for puns. The go-ahead runs at the plate.
There's always time for a good pun. I mean, you got the double there. You got the Most and the dangerous. But, I mean, a great piece of hitting there from Will Anderson. We digress per usual, but now bases loaded. The Legends not going down without a fight here. A nice rally and just doing a little bit of everything.
Mike Nunez heads out to the mound. The bases loaded. Leone, after inducing a ground ball to start this inning, has loaded the bases with a single, a hit by pitch, and another single. And there's action in the bullpen for Sonoma. Nunez heads back to the dugout. It was just him and Connor Pulowski. Bases full for Menlo Park. 4-1 Sonoma, top of inning number 8. Braden Gentz, the closer, up and loosening for the Stompers. This could quickly turn into a 1+ inning save. Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch is a cold strike 1. Villa from third, Bowes from second, Anderson from first. And Connor Pulowski can't let anything get through. The 0-1. Outside and high, 1-1. Most on the season, 2 doubles, a triple, a home run, 7 RBI. He's already singled and scored a run today. If he gets a ball down in the outfield, Stomps are in a world of hurt, and they're gifted a strike. High and tight fastball glances off the bat. And it's 1-2. That's a free foul ball. Brandon Leone gets a gift. Let's see if he can put away. And Braden Gentz, the arm in the bullpen. We saw him enter a situation in out-of-league play in the bottom of the 8th inning with runners on base, and he turned to double play. Zach Pace hoping, though, that his closer only has to pitch the 9th. Righty on righty. Leone delivers. Most started but stopped quickly on a high fastball, 2-2. 90 miles an hour out of the right arm of Brandon Leone.
And the miss has been on the inside edge. We saw him hit James Bowes, but certainly can't give up a free pass here.
No place to put most. The pitch. High and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Something's got to give here. One more wide one puts a runner aboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded for Menlo Park. Stompers clinging to a 4-1 lead. Leone shakes off, comes home. That's lined hard down the left field line, but foul. A slicing line drive that ended up in the left field corner. And we'll do it again from 3-2. That's a dangerous one. Now there's a lot of things going through your mind. You came in the zone on the first 3-2 and gave up a hard hit baseball. But you have to come back in the zone on a second payoff. Leone to Most. Righty, the pitch. Foul back to the screen. Went to the off speed, 78 miles an hour. We'll see a 9th pitch. No matter what happens here, it's been a heck of an at-bat from Dane Most. And Leone shakes off yet again. Finds the one he likes. Pulowski sets up the pitch. In there for a called strike 3. Harvey Maxey rings him up. A perfect pitch at the knees from Brandon Leone.
Center fielder number 2, Gavin.
And now you're 1 pitch away from getting out of it against Gavin Shaddix, a guy who is 0 for 3 and entered play just 129 batting average. Shaddix takes high and tight. No runs batted in on the season for the Menlo Park center fielder, but a golden opportunity for one here. Bases full with now 2 outs.
And that strikeout there, the 10th of the ballgame, both sides, the first looking.
Pitch. High 2-0. And you hope that 9-pitch battle didn't take too much out of Leone. The bases are still loaded. There's just 1 more out now. You kind of have to come in the zone here. 2-0 to Gavin Shaddix. The 2-0 offer. Outside corner called strike. Shaddix was ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes against the starter Howard in his first at-bat. That turned into a swinging strikeout, one of the 2 for David. Leone looks to battle back from 2-0. He is ready to deliver a 2-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball 2-2. 88 miles an hour in the zone.
And it's a big hack from Shaddix there. Now just 1 pitch either way.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded for Menlo Park. Leone delivers. Shaddix takes low outside, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded in the 8th. Here it is. Shaddix strikes out swinging. Brandon Leone leaves the bases loaded. Nothing across for Menlo Park in the 8th. We head to the bottom of the inning. Sonoma still leads it 4-1. Connor Pulowski leads off the bottom of the 8th inning against a new arm, Dylan Trammell. The righty delivers to Pulowski, lined into center field. Moving over is Shaddix, and he makes the catch, ranging towards right center. Might have been Villa, I think's moved over to center. Dylan Trammell has thrown 5 games out of a bullpen. He's yet to record a win or loss. He has a 7.56 ERA over 8.1 innings. He delivers upstairs in the count to 1-0. He relieves Sam Young, who had 1.2 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, 1 strikeout. Came into a tough situation with a runner on second, but could not get the job done. At Nick Sebastiani inside, he's been hit by a pitch. And that seems like he's been hit in the funny bone again. Or is he having to plead his case that he was hit by the pitch? The home plate umpire, Harvey Maxey, says it didn't hit him. And they're going to have to converse. And after he said, Will Robbins take your base earlier in this game, I would be shocked if they put Nick back at the plate. He's taking his arm guard off. He's done everything right. He's given it to Jacoby Heyer. I don't even know what the argument is. And they're going to give him first base. I thought he pointed back. I thought Gary was sending him back for a second there.
No, and that's the right thing there. I think it just goes to show how much of being hit by a pitch is selling it, as the batter. Because you've got the arm guard on. You probably don't feel it a lot. And hitting the plastic sounds very similar to hitting the knob of the bat. But I think ultimately the right call there. And even with, how we saw Bose awarded the base last inning. Robbins, like you said, you have to give it there.
That one's high and tight on Brady Shannon. Brady delivered a 2 RBI single. Those are the 2 winning runs batted in up until today. Up until this point, beg your pardon. The 1-0. Grounded back up the middle. Beal ranges over and he knocks it down but can't pick it up. Nick Sebastiani heads up base running. He heads towards throw. The throw is not in time. Shannon goes to second base. It's a single for Brady. He moves up to second on the throw.
And a ball hit softly right behind second base. That's always a tough play. Beal got a glove on it, but then slowed it down so Villa couldn't come on to make the play. And a really heads-up base running moment from Nick Sebastiani. Moves all the way to third. It was a close play there, but he didn't hesitate. He got there in time and then allows Shannon to move up as well.
That brings up a lefty, Paul Lazul, who doubled in the 5th inning. And the Stompers will get a couple more cracks with runners in scoring position. They're currently 2 for 8 in that category. That one misses low, 1-0. Trammell, beg your pardon. Trammell? It could go either way. The 1-0 is popped up foul. I'm thinking of Taylor Trammell, who was just taken off the injured list recently. Guy's bounced around a while. I'm just pulling out these random baseball facts.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on. Not like this one hasn't been engaging enough. The Stomps lead 4-1 and a very nice block. Blake Cowens has continued to be maybe the best opposing catcher we've seen play here at Arnold Field defensively.
And we always talk about how difficult the infield is to play, and we do our best to give the credit behind the dish, but it's not an easy one to play. Pretty deep backstop, the grass and the dirt, not always the most consistent.
Lazul sends this one to left field, chasing back the left fielder who makes the catch on the warning track. Tagging to score is Nick Sebastiani. It's an RBI for Paul Lazul, his 7th of the season. That's productive, and it's now 5-1. Because As we continue on just baseball pronunciations, why not? It's Dylan Trammell, I think, is this pitcher. Alan Trammell is the Tigers' all-time great, but it's Taylor Trammell. That's the Astros outfielder. And the buck stops with us. We should have gone down and asked him before the game. So it's a sac fly, Paul Lazul, a 5-1 Sonoma lead. 1-0. First a check on Shannon, and now a pitch. Hageman bounces it foul, third base side. The Stomps hold on. This is a nice little comeback victory. The offense at a point had gone 13 straight hitters retired between innings 1 and 5. You break out of that. You were 0 for 5 on your first chances with runners in scoring position. You've picked up a couple knocks in that category as well. 1-1. Hageman bounces it to third. Charging and throwing across the diamond. A stretch. Did he stay on the base? Hageman staying there, but he did hold, and the inning will come to a close. We head to the ninth. The Stompers lead it 5-1. We'll see which arm goes out there. I think Zach Pace will make a change. Either way, come back for the conclusion of this one on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Brandon Leone did a job in the 8th inning. He went just 1 inning, and it wasn't an easy one. He loaded the bases with 2 singles and a hit by pitch, but he got out of that inning. And so he'll now give way to the closer, Braden Gens, although it's not a save situation. The Pepperdine Wave delivers high, 1 ball and no strikes. Gens, a newer addition to the closer role. He started a game. That one didn't go as planned. Out of the bullpen this season, he's gone 5 2/3 shutout innings. He's given up 4 earned over 2 as a starter, so do with that what you will. About 4.69 earned run average. Came in a couple tough innings as a starter. He's much more comfortable out of the bullpen. You can ask him, you can ask Coach, anyone will tell you.
And this is the guy we talked about in the pregame show, someone who can solidify that starter role down the stretch and really be a key weapon out of the bullpen.
That one's fouled back to the screen by Robbins. We own 1 inning, 2 hits, no runs, 1 hit batsman, and he struck out the last 2 hitters with the bases loaded. 1-2. Fooled him badly. Robbins hustling up the line, but Pulowski's throw beats him. It's 3 consecutive Ks by Stomper pitching, and that brings up Blake Cowens for his 4th chance. A couple ground balls and a walk.
And that's a beautiful pitch from Gens. I think it hit the ground before the plate. It still invoked the swing.
And I don't know what Lucas Townsend His words are for the home plate umpire, Harvey Maxey, but he's not pleased about something. And the umpires are going to come together. I'm interested to see what the question was there.
A
throwing lane down the first base line?
No, I think it's about Gantz. I mean, a home plate umpire, Harvey Maxey's looking at Braden Gantz. He might be making sure he's pausing. That wasn't a balk or something along the lines of.
But you can't go back and change a balk after it happened.
Now, Townsend pretty angry down the third base line. He was pretty heavy in the face, but they're going to rule it an out. I'm not really sure what the issue was.
Yeah, we'll talk to Townie after this one. Hopefully he's cooled down a little bit. But, I mean, I think this could be frustration boiling over. I mean, talk about having somebody's number. Sonoma well on their way to taking 5 of the first 6 against Menlo Park this year. Pitch from Gentz is low, and that one skips in there and got Pulowski in the shoulder. He went down in blocking position, did everything right, and it kicked up and just hit him right where that shoulder guard is gone. And he's in a little bit of pain. Harvey Maxey does the right thing. He'll walk a new baseball out to Braden Gentz, and Paul Lazul will go settle him down a little bit. Maybe Lazul's asking Harvey Maxey what Lucas Townsend was arguing. Stompers 5, Legends 1. The 1-0 is sent down the left field line. Giving it a look is Sebastiani, but it drops foul. The pitch. In there for a called strike 1 and 2. Thanks for joining us, spending your Friday night alongside. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli. We'll be back on the air tomorrow. First pitch slated for 6:05. This one's bounced to third. Schlafer fields, throws across his body. Lazul picked it. A nifty play on both ends for Sonoma. Flashing the leather till the very end here on a Friday evening.
And a nice way to reconnect there. The two weren't able to connect back in the fourth against Gavin Shaddix, but a nice fielding play. A tough one to make from third base, especially playing on a brand new infield, and then a nifty pick from Lazul at first.
Menlo Park down to their final out. It's the lefty Charlie Degler. Fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. David Howard to Jackson Rowland, Brandon Leone, and now Braden Gentz. Sonoma looking to close out what would be a 1-run outing from their pitching staff, and that run would be unearned. The pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2. No on, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 9th inning. Again, shakes the first one, shakes the second. Come set. Righty lefty against to Degler. It's low, and the count's 1-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch is lined into left field, coming on Sebastiani. He has to play it on a hop, so Charlie Degler keeps the line moving, and that sets up Tucker Beal back at the top.
Shortstop number 7, Tucker Beal.
And nice piece of two-strike hitting there. Took the other way, found a pitch he could handle, and keeps the flame flickering for the Legends, looking to do something here in the top of the ninth.
The runner at first, that's Degler. This ball game isn't over yet. That one is outside, 1-0. A pitch is a called strike, 1-1. One ball, one strike. Runner at first is Degler with 2 outs. The pitch, swing and a miss. The count's now a ball and 2 strikes. Beals lined out, popped out, been hit by a pitch and grounded out. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 9th inning. Gens sets at the belt, stares in to get his sign, and pitches. That one misses low and outside. The count's 2-2. This ball game just refusing to end. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the top of the 9th, Braden Gens pitches. Beals strikes out swinging. Stomps win. The pitching staff leads the way, and the offense does enough. Sonoma takes control of the season series. They've taken 5 of 6 from Menlo Park to start the CCL summer, and that's how you open up the second half of the campaign. Jackson Rowland, the winning pitcher. Sam Young, the loser. Jackson now 3-0 on the season. He's done a very nice job. Sam Young falls to 0-2. Brady Shannon, the big offensive hero. He had a 2 RBI single in a 3-run 6th inning. For Sonoma, they get 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th, but the big one was that 3 in the 6th. The Legends get an unearned run in the 4th inning. Sonoma with 5, 6, and 2 trumps 1, 5, and 1. And that's a fun one if you're Sonoma.
That's a big one. You needed to get a win. It's been a rough week. You get the off day yesterday to kind of reset, flush it, and move into a big weekend full of baseball. You get a big one here against the Legends, who didn't go down without a fight. It was neck and neck the whole way through this one. The Stompers were just able to get back to their infamous small ball. They scored a run on a pass ball, which is almost a guaranteed yes if you're betting on Stompers baseball. It was a great team effort. The pitching was there. 4 guys we've seen be dominant, continued that today. It was David Howard for 5, Jackson Rowland for 2, Brandon Leone for 1, and then Braden Gens for 1. That's the bullpen and the start that this Stompers pitching staff has come to know and expect. They carried through today, and the order was as productive as I've seen all season long.
Well, this is what Sonoma's done. They've won the games you have to win. 5 of 6 from Menlo Park, and you have them 2 times over the next 4 days. That's Sunday and Tuesday. But Roman, the big one's tomorrow, and that's a team you've struggled to beat in the Walnut Creek Crawdads. And if you're the Sonoma Stompers, you're one of the best teams in the CCL year in, year out, and these are games you have to win. The ones that matter are the ones against the top team in the north. That's Walnut Creek.
Yeah, Walnut Creek taken 2 out of 3 so far this season against the Stompers. They need to come out tomorrow with a fire against the Crawdads. You need to look to get the offense out there immediately. Nick Santavanias is going to be on the bump. He's going to give you a good outing. He's done that all season long. Go out, get runs early, get them often, play good defense, let Santavanias control the start, and then the bullpen can come in and slam the door, much like tonight, a big one here at Arnold tomorrow.
That's the marquee matchup tomorrow, Saturday night in Sonoma. Santavanias gets the ball against the top team and the reigning CCL North champions, the Walnut Creek Crawdads. But that's all we have for today. Thanks so much for spending your Friday night alongside Roman Raffelli. I'm Kieran Costa. One last time, 5-6-2 for Sonoma, 1-5-1 for Menlo Park. Jackson Rowland the winner, and Sam Young takes the defeat. We'll be back on the air tomorrow at 5:50. That will be the pregame show, and don't forget, around 7:30 for the 5th inning, Amy G., Stompers sideline reporter, will join us here in the booth. But for now, for Roman Raffelli and everybody that helps this broadcast run, I'm Kieran Costa saying so long from Sonoma.